ladies and gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents. Hey, I'm glad to have you all here. I'm glad we finally got rid of those people who weren't here to contribute, weren't here to really help their neighbor, whose ambitions, motivations were selfish, who say, the videos are too long, all your antics, oh God, if you just stop it, please! I'm glad we got rid of those people. It took a lot. It took almost a month and a half to finally annoy them to the point that they're gone. Now, let's get to those of you who are looking for information, looking for ways out, looking for help. Like I told you, we started two companies. One of them is not fully functional, but up and running. The other one, we're just starting and putting it into motion. SATCOM, the Security Acquisitions Trust Commission, and SITCOM, the Security Investment Trust Commission. SATCOM, SITCOM. The website, for right now, satcom911.com. Satcom911.com. The sitcom website will be sitcom911.com. The YouTube channels for Satcom and Sitcom or Satcom and Sitcom YouTube channel. Let me tell you what we've done to make sure that when you're looking for us, you won't have too much of a problem finding us. Watch this. We're going to type into a search, enhanced by Google, and we're going to do SATCOMM, SATCOMM 911 or 911. However you want to say it, that's all right with us. And I'm going to hit enter. Now I want you to pay attention to what's about to happen. This is a miracle. Uh-oh, it said no suggestions. Why? Because SAT is supposed to be CO. See? Even I make mistakes. No, I don't. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what occurs. Take a look. This is not us. See, this is an advertisement. So stay away from the ads. They are dangerous. But you notice, Infinite State, December 2016. This is from the SATCOM 911 YouTube channel. And then you got FEMA Camps Underground, SATCOM 911 YouTube channel. Mortgage lawsuit update, SATCOM 911 YouTube channels. Mortgage YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. All of the search results are us, except for when you're dealing with the ad-related. They're not related to us. We have 911. Their SATCOM is satcomdirect.com, standing for satellite communications, military. Okay? We are here. They are nowhere to be found. Basically, we're going to outdo them because our results are going to be better than theirs. Now, watch what I do here. Now, let's do it here. Let's just type it in. We got SATCOMM 911. One of them was enhanced by Google. Now we're going to actually do it in Google. And the very first ones are us, so that you don't have a problem. This is the website, satcom911.com, 911.com, 911.com. Okay? So when you're searching for us, you won't have a problem finding us. Because take a look. Now look, who is 2D.com? We ain't there. They don't know nothing about us. And this is the Daily Who Is. They don't know nothing about us. That's why they don't have no information. But we're going to give them information. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this video is just to let you know SATCOM 911, SATCOM YouTube channel, SATCOM 911 YouTube channel, satcom911.com, and Sitcom YouTube channel, Sitcom 911 YouTube channel, and Sitcom911.com are all available and in construction and development. Now, that we have those of you who have been around, who have stuck around, who've been there from the beginning, you will notice again that we put up some of the older videos that were up on the Readers Right YouTube channel. We will be putting up more. Why? Because most of the information is still relevant. People have been watching the videos and gaining more insight and knowledge. There was a gentleman. We're calling the Monroe brothers. These are two brothers. The Monroe brothers got together, and the Monroe brothers have been trying to take care of one of their mortgages. They listened to the video. They listened to the video about the securitization trustee and the attorney bringing that information to our attention. Thank you very much. What do you call them? What the stupid name of that company was? Dang it, it was in San Diego. I can't think of the name of that stupid company. Dag nabbit. And it's right there on the tip of somebody else's tongue. Oh well, we're going to have to move on because I can't think of it. Well, anyway, whatever that stupid attorney's name was and whatever that stupid company was, because they were stupid. I ain't never heard of nobody owning their home after the mortgage, blah, 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 blah. So I want you to pay attention to this call to the USDA, not made by me, but made by somebody else. And although you will notice that there are some mistakes, pay attention.
Guaranteed Loans, this is William Wines. Can I help you?
Hey, good morning, Mr. Wines. How you doing? This is Gus.
I missed you. Yes. How you doing, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Good, good. How can I help you?
Good. No, I was just calling in regards to you did get the account number I left for you on the phone call, correct?
Well, yeah, that was passed on to me, and I looked at the records. Yes.
Okay, and I think that was delivered to you guys on 10/28.
What was delivered?
The package. You got a package that had a notice of tender for set off in there, correct? Did you read through the package?
I'm not sure if you understand what we do here. Let me see if I can help you.
Oh yeah, no. If I understand totally, that's kind of why I sent that whole package to your guys' department, because that's where it needed to go to.
Yeah, we're the USDA.
Yep.
And we don't process or service loans directly. That's done by a lender, whoever the servicing lender is. And our records show it's Round Point Mortgage.
Yeah, but you guys service all insured notes, though, correct?
No, we do not, sir. We're an insurance company, if you will. If that loan defaults, our relationship is by and between us and the servicer only to reimburse them for any losses they experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Department of Agriculture has just stated that they are an insurance company, if you will, and that they have an agreement between them and the banks to reimburse them for any losses they incur. Shall we continue? Yes, you may.
Okay.
But we don't service or process packages or anything of that nature.
Sorry, got to stop one more time. Nobody ever mentioned anything about servicing a note. Servicing a loan. Okay? He's going to explain to them how they are the servicer. I want you to pay attention. He's going to explain to them how the trustee position reverts to them according to their own policy. Are y'all ready to hear this? Are y'all ready for this?
Right, that isn't.
Did someone inform you?
Yeah, I know. Just some of this research that I'm doing here, because I am having an issue with Round Point. They actually are in breach of our contract. As far as there was a gentleman there that basically signed the note without my. He didn't withhold that information to me. He signed the note and paid to the to the United States government. He actually signed for it and got paid for the note. And it's an instrument. Obviously, it's a negotiable instrument. It's my instrument. It's a note that belongs to me. And so basically, he signed and got paid for this note, took care of the mortgage, and didn't make me aware of it. So I'm holding him in breach of contract as far as what his role is in it, because he did not make that aware to me. He basically sold this without me knowing, and is now trying to sell it again. And there's just something shady going on here. His name's Mark Workins, who I'm dealing with right now. He's from Mortgage One. So that's why and I'm just, actually reading right here out of, out of the USDA, it's program 7 CFR part 355, that, an insured note is to be handled. I mean, is by rule development as the trustee now, because I no longer have a contract with this Round Point so-called, whoever's supposed to be the trustee. They're in breach of contract with me, so I'm not dealing with them. And that's why I'm coming to you guys, and I sent this information to you because you guys are now being the trustee, because you are, holder in due course of this instrument now. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I understand what you're saying, but unfortunately, everything that you stated is not regulatory with respect to our center and our process.
Okay. Did you read through that package I sent you, sir? Because in there, I
Sir,
had
we haven't received any package.
Yeah, you have. I've got proof here that it was signed for by a D. Solomon. I actually spoke with a gentleman in your mailroom who said it was delivered to a let me see here, to a Tina Farlow, who is the supervisor there, and
Yeah,
her assistant Karen signed for it.
She actually brought this to me, but there's no package. She didn't bring any package to me.
Can you let me know what she brought to you?
She brought me something from her voicemail that had your name and phone number on it. And that's all she had, was a voicemail from you. That's all she brought me.
Okay.
And she stated that you're an executor. Is that correct?
I'm the executor of this estate for Aganaga Augustine, yes.
Okay, all right.
So the problem that I'm having here, Mr. Wines, is that there was a package sent with you that actually had a negotiable instrument that was upwards of worth of $177,000 that's to be treated as cash. That was the whole reason why I called. It had a note in there that is now missing. I sent it out on 10/28, with an affidavit in there of a non-response, that if I didn't hear back in 13 to 14 days, you guys would acquiesce to my terms on the contract I've sent there, and I didn't hear nothing back. I had to track the package myself. I got a note from the United States Postal Service. I called them. They confirmed that it was dropped off to the USDA. It was signed for, and Ms. Farlow had it.
Well, regardless of whether we received any document, I don't care, basically, and I don't mean to sound condescending, but regardless.
Wait a minute. Regardless, I don't care? Mother, who you think you're talking to? Sorry. I'm thinking he's talking to me. You don't talk to me like that. Regardless? No, you're going to regard more. What do you mean regard less? No, you're going to regard a whole lot more. And you don't care? Look here, mother, you going to care. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make it my point, my prime directive to make sure that you care. As a matter of fact, since you said you don't care, I guarantee you're going to care from this point out. What do you guys think? You see, that's how I normally would respond to the idiots. But you don't respond that way. First, you're not me. Second, he just drew up two negatives. Regardless, I don't care. Those are two negatives. I don't mean to be sounding condescending. I don't want to sound this way, but guess what? I'm being condescending. That's what he's saying. He doesn't mean to sound that way, but he's being condescending. That's what he's saying in his language. Let's continue to listen to this idiot.
What the document was. We have no legal and binding contract with you personally, or even the person that's actually on this loan.
Well, you do, because you accepted. You accepted it, so you do.
Accepted what?
The package that you have.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a matter of whether or not he accepted the package. It's the fact that they now show that note has been paid off. Okay, you're going to hear that later in the conversation. According to their service and collection agreement, they now deal directly with the former borrower, who is now the home owner. Why? Because they're going to say, he's going to mention that the account has been closed. So that means it's been paid off. But the bank is saying that something is still owed on the loan, which means the USDA says it's been paid off. They have proof. And the bank is saying you still owe money. Somebody is trying to defraud me. I believe it is the bank. But since you're saying you don't have a contract with me, of course you do. You paid off my note. Who gave you the authority to do that? Was it not I? Of course you have a contract with me because you just involved yourself in my business. That's right. You are now hereby associated with this agreement. So either you want to reveal all of this in court as to how you've been doing this to millions of people for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, or you want to help me resolve this now. Sorry. I haven't listened to the whole call. I listened to the first minute and a half, but everything we're hearing now, I'm hearing for the first time. But I do know that eventually, because I did call up the two to ask for permission to play this for you. So I know they're going to talk about the note being paid.
That I dropped off there, so you guys signed for it.
That by no means
Well, you never responded
binds us
to it.
legally. It does not bind us legally to anything, sir.
Well, you accepted our package though, so it does.
If the mailroom accepted a package, anybody can send a package, sir.
Well, Miss Farlow,
overnight mail certified.
Exactly, the supervisor accepted
how
it.
it's sent. The contents of that package, by signing for it, doesn't obligate us to anything legally. You know, I would encourage you to reach out to a lawyer, perhaps seek counsel.
No, I don't. I represent myself, sir. That's why I'm calling.
Okay,
I don't,
well then that's fine. Represent yourself as what? A lawyer?
I'm representing this estate. I have no need for lawyers. I don't seek their counsel.
Okay.
So what I'm worried about.
Unfortunately, sir, you're misinformed, and there's nothing I can do for you. I mean, first of all, again, I don't have a package that was delivered to me directly. I'll reach out to Miss Farlow again.
I will too myself. Yeah. Miss Farlow does have it because her.
He said he doesn't physically have a package. Then he's saying if she's received it, he will reach out to her. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can. So he's going to reach out to Mrs. Farlow. Why? He was just trying to tell you, I'm only calling for this reason. You see, this attorney, that's who he is. He's an attorney. If you don't believe me, go back and listen to him talk about how it doesn't legally bind them to anything. And notice the way and the tone that it is said. That is an attorney. How do I know? Because I deal with attorneys all the time and have been dealing with them for quite some time. Let's continue to listen to this idiot.
It was confirmed by your mailroom that Karen, her secretary, signed for it. So there's no going back there anyway. I mean, I know she has it. So
and I assume it has a return address. Sir, over talking me isn't going to get you anywhere.
I'm not trying to overtalk you, sir. It sounds. What do you think I'm trying to do, Mr. Wines? Could you explain that to me?
Obligate us to something that you think you can obligate us to that is.
Are you familiar with the USDA 7 CFR 1901-508 servicing when?
No, he's going to talk about that code that we were talking about. But before he talks about that, did you hear the? Did you hear the laugh? The condescending laugh? Yeah, that's exactly what that laugh is. It's a condescending laugh. He's now dismissing him, being dismissive. Now, how do you take care of that? He says, and talking over me will not blah, 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 blah. Look, mother, I was talking first. You interrupted what I said. So you talked over me. You showed me a lack of respect. You see, that's where I go with them. I let them see where the disrespect came first. So, if I'm handling this call, and I will be calling this idiot, You had better believe he'll be hearing from me by Wednesday of next week. And I'll put the call up here so all of you can hear it. But I will be calling this idiot and I'll be correcting some of the points that he made. And then I'll let him know that I put him on the internet and, played it for everybody. And of course, he's going to hang up on me at that point. Or he's going to tell me that I'm not permitted or allowed to record him. Sir, you work for the United States Department of Agriculture. Are you not a government agency? That means that you're a government employee. And you're operating under your government employee capacity, which means you're operating as a public officer, which means you have no private right or right to privacy as a government employee. You want to argue with me? Let's go. Okay, let me play the rest of it.
Note with outstanding investors. Are you familiar with that?
I am familiar with the 7 CFR 3555.
Well, if I would suggest to you, I mean, I appreciate your suggestions, but I would suggest to you that you get familiar with the 7 CFR 1901-508. It's the servicing of insured notes outstanding with investors, and that's all I'm trying to do, sir. It says here, I'll read it right to you. It says I'm the holder of this note, of an insured note. Okay, will endorse the insured note as follows: pay to the order of the United States of America without recourse.
Of that note, the only way that you could be holder of that note.
Can I finish?
Paid Round Point Mortgage Servicing Corp. And or their holder off in cash. Did you do that?
I'm trying to get the cash for it right now. You're holding my instrument.
Okay, so you haven't.
You're holding my instrument.
We don't have an instrument. The instrument's not in our name.
You have
the instrument when it.
Did you see he say the only way this could be done is if you paid them in cash? Ladies and gentlemen, that's not true. You're going to hear him say that the account is closed. Okay, he says being the holder of the note, you don't become a holder of a note because you paid someone in cash. You become the holder of the note because of a contract. The banks have not paid anybody in cash. You hear the word cash? He didn't say money. So the question is, what is your definition of cash? But he's trying to change the subject. And so we must take care of the subject. So let's find out what the subject should be.
Closed was in Round Point and First Guarantee Mortgage. Those are the organizations.
What do you mean when it was closed? Can you explain that to me, please, when it was closed?
Yeah, sure. When, let's see.
Meaning closed out, meaning it's zero balance, correct?
2004, April 10, 2014, when the loan was closed.
What do you mean closed?
When it was purchased. Well, closed means settlement.
Yeah, it means there was a zero balance on the account. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Ladies and gentlemen, he said when there was a settlement, when it was closed. So, understand, he just told him he needed to pay the bank cash. Excuse me? Why would I pay them cash when the loan has been closed? If the loan is no longer open, why would I be paying them any cash? The only reason I would be paying somebody cash is for them to reopen my loan. That's what a refinance is supposed to do, ain't it? Let's go ahead and continue.
There's a receipt for that, sir. That's why I'm calling.
Doesn't come from us, sir. We don't have anything to do with the borrowers directly with respect to...
Okay. He asked him for a receipt. Remember, I'm listening to this for the first time with the rest of you guys. Many of you would listen to this and you would not possibly pick up on all of these points as I'm bringing out right now, but I'm listening to this for the first time. He mentioned a receipt, and this idiot said, and that doesn't come from us. The receipt doesn't come from us. He now verifies that there's a receipt. My bad.
Chaos with respect to satisfying notes, any of that.
If you look at USDA 719.01.5, Section 2 says, on receipt of the endorsed note with accompanying insurance agreement, the direct or finance office will acknowledge receipt of the note and process payment to the assigner for the par value of the note, sir, as of the date of the treasury check.
That is
It's right
not
here
on
out
our
of your own
guaranteed
laws.
loan program.
It is.
That doesn't.
All homes are guaranteed home loans, sir. All of them are. They're all government
You,
insured loans.
what you're mistaken is there are two divisions here. I'm a guaranteed division, and we
That's where
do
I
have a
need to be
direct
at.
division. We do have a direct division, but you're not calling the direct division. You're calling the guaranteed division.
That's where I want to be at.
But you
I need to
told
be at the
me that
guaranteed
you were
division.
working with Round Point Mortgages. Is that correct?
I am not working with Round.
Did I not tell you he was an attorney? Look, pay attention to how he's trying to nitpick on his words and trying to hone in and hold him to his terminology, his verbiage. Like I said, he's talking to an attorney. Now, he's holding his own. He said a couple of things at the beginning that weren't really accurate. However, if you notice, he's staying on point, which is what all of you should be doing. There you go, Gus. That's how you do it.
Point. I
Have
am
you
not.
worked with?
They have nothing. They have already been paid. This mortgage has already been paid off. Is what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Okay,
I'm
so
just
then
looking
the
for a
note would
receipt of
come
it.
from them. The note would come from them.
No,
The release,
they
all of
breached
that.
contract with us. I have the note, sir. That's what I sent back to you. Is I sent the note back to you guys in this package of documents. I'm asking where it's at. I'm worried that you guys have no idea where it's at because it's in Miss Farlow's.
If
She has it.
I will approach her,
Okay.
and if she has the note, we can forward it back to you. I assume there's a return address. Is that correct?
Yeah, and then what I need to do is somebody needs to read that information that's in there to understand what's going on, because I just asked if I didn't do something properly in the whole process, that my whole package is returned to me so I can correct it and return it back to you.
We will gladly return the package to you, if providing there's an address. I have your phone number. Let me go look and see if she has a package.
Now, look, he doesn't say process the package, he says return it. Now, the problem is, you return my package, that means that you are now fully accepting it. So now you need to return my package saying that it has been satisfied and the matter has now been deemed closed by the United States Department of Agriculture. Of course, he'll never do that because he knows exactly what that phrase means and what it means in terminology. So they will never do that. Let's listen to the rest of the call.
Again, but
Well, I hope she
didn't
does, because
deliver
once
one.
again, it was confirmed that Karen signed for it and
Okay.
Tina had it. That was just all verified through the mailroom. And it's been a long
So
process.
Tina's
And
signature was on it.
yeah, Tina signed for it. That's what the mailroom's there.
You told me somebody else signed
Or sorry,
for it.
Karen. Karen signed for
Okay.
it. Her secretary.
Right. If we can't guarantee that person delivered it to Tina. Okay. And if
Her
Tina's
secretary.
that's not her secretary.
That's what the mailroom told me. Sorry,
Well,
they said
not her
Karen, her
secretary.
secretary, signed for it. And I'm
I
sorry
will
too.
check with her.
You sound like you're a little deterred with me, and that's not where I wanted to go with this. I'm just trying to get answers. As you can see, I have some documents missing from October.
Well,
You know what I
it's
mean?
because of the regulations that you're citing, which aren't a fit for our guaranteed program, and I don't know what you're.
Ladies and gentlemen, the regulations that he's citing, we got directly from the single family guaranteed housing. No, single family housing guaranteed loan program. How do I know how to say that phrase? Because Jane Elkins, an attorney, a compliance officer for the United States Department of Agriculture, we played that video last year, uploaded it again, I think it was 12 something, 2012. I just uploaded it again. That call with him, and he's saying that this guy's using the wrong regulations. Please. This is the guaranteed section of the United States Department of Agriculture. Of course, they're using the right language and the right statutes and the right regulations. One moment.
Reading, because I don't have the package, okay, and even if you sent us legal documents, we're going to return them to you, but we have no part in it. I know this program quite well.
Okay.
I've been working on this program for 15 years.
Can you explain to me? I mean, you seem to sound understand what I'm talking about, though, and you say I'm in the wrong department.
A lot of what you're saying is not completely accurate.
And how's that, sir?
Good question.
How is that not accurate?
Look at how he paused.
Because you're citing things that aren't applicable to the law that we have here.
This is right out of your law. This is right out of 7 CFR 1901-508, servicing of insured notes and outstanding with investors. You are the final say there, correct?
That doesn't apply to our department here. That applies to a different area.
What area?
What area is that?
We don't make direct loans here. I tried explaining that to you.
I understand
we guarantee loans to lenders
but you
directly.
You are a servicer. You are the servicer because you're the holder in due course.
No, we don't service loans. No, we're not a holder in due course. Those are the things that are wrong.
How's that wrong, sir?
I just told you. We don't service loans here directly, sir. We don't hold titles to notes. We don't accept payments directly from the borrower in the guaranteed division. On the direct division, which is another division, they may do that. Okay?
Guess what, ladies and gentlemen?
But we don't in this department. All I can do for you is go speak with Ms. Farlow and determine if she has a package. If she has a package,
I'm going to end this video.
Return that to you, and
if
there's something on the direct side, we'll refer it to them, and they can reach out to you.
And I'm going to call this
contact information for the direct division.
Well, I'm going to make sure first of all that we have your package.
Well,
no,
he asked you for a number.
That's for sure.
He didn't ask you to make sure you have the package.
I'm glad
There's no question there. I'm not sure why you sound confused with that it's not there. I'm kind of baffled myself about that. I've already confirmed that. I spent the whole day yesterday on the phone tracking that down.
There you go,
so you don't
Gus.
got to worry about that. It's already been there for a few months now. That's where the whole concern comes in.
You were changing the subject.
There's $177,000.
I will go speak with. I will go speak with Miss Farlow.
Do you have the direct division information, sir?
There you go.
I don't have anything in my possession other than your name and phone number.
No, the direct division. The direct division. You just told me it's not your division. It's the direct division. I'm not asking you. I'm just asking you if
we don't have it, I will provide you with that information.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you
sound
hear
like
that?
You're pretty frustrated, sir? Is there something I'm doing wrong here? You sound like you're mad.
See,
I'm not sure why your
again.
frustration's coming out.
He said, "Have a nice day," and he hung up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end this video now. That's me letting you see that somebody else followed the program. They called the United States Department of Agriculture. We'll play the call with me and this idiot for you later. But right now, I'm going to give a call now because I'm actually pissed off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, call with the United States Department of Agriculture, revealing some very interesting information. Have a good day.